Check one, two. Check one, two. Check one, two. All right, we are live. We're live. Let's go. Adriel's in the building. What's up, Adriel? Welcome in to the stream. Welcome in. Tyrone is back in the building. Welcome in. How y'all feeling today? Welcome in. Hope y'all are doing absolutely fantastic. Let me double check a setting over here real quick. Travis is in the building. What's up, Travis? Welcome into the stream. If y'all are coming in over on TikTok, do me a huge favor. Tap the screen, share out the live, send your heart me. It does really help out the live stream quite a bit. Let me just adjust a few things here. One moment. How we feeling today, y'all? Welcome in. Money 2 Blues in the building. Welcome in. Let's see. Let me get out of this EQ over here real fast, and then we will dive into the music. Thanks for tapping in, y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. If y'all want to submit music, everything is at the link in my bio. I will be on short today. It will not be very long. So if you are wanting to submit your music, just keep in mind that I'm only taking a handful of songs today. So if you want to get in earlier rather than later, just because I'll only be on for about an hour and a half to 2 hours today, most likely. And then we will be on live again tomorrow, hopefully a little bit longer. Quan's in the building. Shadow Drive, welcome in. Ochi, appreciate you being here. Welcome into the stream, y'all. If y'all are coming in for the first time, welcome to Track Talk. Let me know where you're joining from. If you make music, I would love to know the kind of music that you make. Travis just got your submission. Appreciate you so much. Welcome in. Let me double check a few things as we get rolling here. Hybrid's in the building. Welcome in. Mikey's in the building. What's up, Mikey? Welcome into the stream. How are you feeling today? Herbert's in the building. Welcome in, Herbert. Thanks for tapping in today, y'all. Appreciate y'all joining. Jakale's in the building. How's it feeling? Let me see. Actually, where's my transport controls? One sec. Oh, there we go. There we go. Dragonetti's in the building. Welcome in. Jane is in the building. Is it Rifki? I can't. Sometimes the names are hard to see on my screen from this far where the chat is. But I appreciate you tapping in. Shanika, welcome in as well. I appreciate you joining. Well, how y'all feeling today? What are y'all up to? Let me see. Let me adjust this over here real quick. Let me see if I can't get that is back in the building. Let me see 1 second. Tessa's in the building. Welcome in, y'all. Also just would love to know where y'all are joining from. Would love to know if you make music, the kind of music that you make. We start in probably the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. I just got to get all of the different platforms up and running. We're live on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. So once we get everything up and running, I'm going to try to get some people from yesterday in that we had to save for today. So I'm going to send this out to them if I'm able to. Let's see. Women people, welcome in. Ria, welcome in as well. But make sure y'all are tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. And we'll get flowing here in a second. Tyrone, I got your submission as well. Appreciate you a lot. Pushing the trap scene in Ireland. Let's go. That's amazing. Shouts to you. Chris, welcome in as well. That's awesome. Burnham Designs, welcome in. Richard, Sharker, welcome in. Appreciate y'all being here. Welcome to the stream, y'all. If you're coming in for the first time, just let me know where you're joining from. If you make music, let me know the kind of music that you make, how long you've been making it. Let's chat for a little bit. We maybe answer a couple questions before we get rolling with the music, but it is going to be short and sweet today. How do I do this? 1 second. Let's see if I can. You're not watching the game? Nah. I lost interest after one of my 3 teams left. I'm not watching the game. Oh, it just ended. Who won? That's about it. That's the how deep my interest goes as of right now. Who won? If it just ended, 2-1 Argentina. Adds up. When's the final? So this was semifinal, right? Rhea, if you want to submit, everything's at the link in my bio. Link in my bio for anybody that would like to send in their music. Link in my bio. Nice. Let me see. Tinker Dev, welcome in. Final next week. Got you. So what is that? Is it Spain, Argentina? Is it Spain, Argentina? Is it going to be the final then? Or am I making that up? William Harper, welcome in. Let me see. Got you. I've kept up a little bit. My wife is Mexican and I am Norwegian. and we both live in the U.S. So those were the three teams that we were kind of tracking. I was tracking with Norway, and obviously we were all watching Mexico. We're hoping they would do something. USA, whatever. They're I don't have a lot of strong hopes for the U.S. regardless. And since all of them were out, and Norway just lost, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Jacob, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. If you would like to submit music, everything is at the link in my bio. Link in my bio. Let me double check a few things before we get rolling. Number 0. You're not number 0. Double check it again. Try updating it. You're not number 0. It's a free. You might be seeing the free submission. So there's $0 on it. There's zero on the submission, but that's probably what you're looking at. But it's not. Let me see, which one is it? Quan, you're fourth. You're fourth on there. You're wherever you are in the line. So wherever you see yourself in the line is where you're at. But the number that you're seeing, I think, is just that it's free. So there's 0 on there. But it'll always goes from top to bottom. So that's the order currently. Let me see. Yeah, of course. I got you. Let me double check a few things here. I'm trying to figure out how I can send this to Vadis. Give me just a moment, y'all. I want to send this out to an artist that we got in yesterday. They had to leave pretty quickly at the end. And so I want to get them back in here. So give me just one moment here, but make sure y'all are tapping the screens here at the live. If you make music, we'd love to know what you make. If you are, let me see. If you're coming in for the first time, we'd love to know where you're joining from. I saw Gretsch player in the building. Who's the Gretsch player in the building? I love Gretsch. I have a small little cheap Gretsch Jim Dandy parlor guitar that I use for a lot of acoustic records, especially like really soft mellow stuff. I really like it, especially for like light picking stuff. It's great. And then I also have a Gretsch center block. It's the triple that I love. So I can't even think it's over here. It's the black on gold center block semi hollow, which I'm obsessed. It's my favorite guitar that I have. Absolutely love that thing. And hopefully coming in the next like week or two, I have a Gretsch drum set coming in, the like vintage satin flame drum set that's coming in here pretty soon as well, which I'm hyped for. I just sold 3 drum sets to make room for this set and the cymbals that I'm getting for it here in just in a week or two. So I'm hyped for that. I love Gretsch. I've played Gretsch for most of my life. I used to play a Duo Jet back in the day, but it got rid of it. And I regret it every day. And so I would love, it was like an old, like 57 style, black on everything, Gretsch Duo Jet. And it's killer. It's killer. Literally does the thing in terms. It does. I mean, the classic for me is the Gretsch. So I have a special edition AC-15 that to me is one of the best amps in the world. I love that thing. I used to have an AC-30, but for the room that I'm in, for the environment that I'm in, the AC-15 just makes sense. And so the Gretsch hollow body through an AC-15 is just magical. That British chime, that tone, that body that it has. I got something in my eye. What the hell's going on? Is just too heavy. Yeah, it is brutal. Even the AC-15. This is a C1, so it's a single 12, which is perfect for this room. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. The 12 is perfect. It's a single 12, not the C2, which is the 2x12. It's a single 12, which is perfect for the space. It does everything that I need in the space. So it's not as heavy, but it's still a monster. Quant, thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate that. Nemo, thanks for the follow as well. Y'all are awesome. It's not as heavy, but it's still a beast. I mean, it's still any tube amp is going to be kind of a monster to deal with. Now my bass setup is a Hartkey. It's a tube Hartkey setup. It's a Kilo 1000, I believe. That thing, on the other hand, is a monster. That thing is even just the head. So it's a 410 cab, which is on its own is nuts. But the Kilo top alone. Pantera, welcome in, is just a monster. It's an absolute monster of a head. The thing weighs like 40 pounds. It feels like it at least. Retrack, welcome in. Good to see you. I used a Fender Deluxe, but that's heavy and is a beast. Yeah, I had I swapped. So I had a Fender DeVille. It was a 410 Fender DeVille tube amp. And I swapped a guy that for the special edition Vox because I just love the Vox tone. I love what it does. I've like I said, I used to have an AC-30. I've played on tons and tons of Voxes. I like that tone specifically. So I had gotten through some trades and through some stuff. I had gotten the DeVille, the 410 DeVille, the Hot Rod. Thing is loud as hell. It's crazy, crazy, crazy loud as hell. But it just didn't. It didn't. It was like so loud that I could never get it to its sweet spot. Like I just, by the time it was just reverberating through everything. And even though it's a decently treated room in here, it was just too much. It was too much for the space. So I could never get it to its breakup point. I could never quite push it where I wanted to, and just also wasn't quite the vibe that I wanted. So I'm happy to have the AC-15 again. It's one of my favorite amps in the world. I would love like an AC-15 with like a matchless DC. It's killer. Yeah, exactly. Especially on the 15. Now, the reason why I got rid of the 30 is because that's especially in a smaller, this room's not crazy big. In a smaller space, it's hard to even push an AC 30 just because that thing is so freaking loud. Okay, let me double check just a few things. Yeah, come on, somebody. All right. Yeah, I love it. Like, whether I'm putting like a Strat into it or a Gretsch into it or whatever. I mean, like I have like a vintage Dean, like no matter what you put into it, kind of just shines. It just works. Okay, give me a second. You produce a song, but vocals, melody, takes. I got you, Nemo. I got you. Bad is subjective. Bad is up to you. If you don't, it's up to, your subjective opinion on if you feel like you are doing something like unethical or immoral when it comes to making your music. I know what I like. I know what I enjoy. I know the processes that I enjoy going through when it makes music. So for me, it would be bad. For me, it would be unfulfilling. It would be an uncreative environment for me to do what you're doing, but that doesn't mean that you should be bad. Ditto, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. I think this is very subjective. It's very up to what is fulfilling for you, what you feel like is creative when you go through your processes, what brings you joy when it comes to making music. That's not going to be the same thing for everything. For me, like I have all these synths. I got like 12, 13 synths in here. I love playing synths. I love the tactile control. In fact, I might be getting a console in here hopefully soon. I love it, whether it's better or worse or whatever, to me, it doesn't matter. I love hands-on control. I love tactile control. I love fighting through the process of developing sonics and developing a sound and these old DACs and all of the things you got to fight through to make something amazing happen. I enjoy that process. It's fulfilling for me. So for me, the idea of not that it's the case, right? It is for some people, not everyone. But the idea of just like bypassing all of that to just hopefully get the most commercially viable thing as quick as possible, to me is gross to me. Because it bypasses all the stuff that I like. Doesn't have to be the case for anyone else. That's a very personal decision I think everyone has to make. Retrack, thank you so much for the heart me. I appreciate that. Retrack, do you have Vatis? Do you know Vatis, Retrack? I'm trying to get them back in here because I want to start the music. I want to get into our first tracks here, but they submitted late the other day and they were really hoping to come in because they sent high. They were really, really high and then they had to go when I was ending the live at the end. And so I want to see if I can get them back in here, but I can't see how to do it from TikTok Studio on the Mac. Dito, 100%. Yeah. If you are on, and I'll explain all this in a second too. If you are wanting to submit and you're on TikTok, it's a link in my bio. If you're on Twitch, it's you can type !submit in the chat. The link will present itself to you. If you're on the Red app, if you're on YouTube, then you can go to the description for the live stream and you'll see what you need there. But yeah, on Twitch, where you're at, it's !submit right there in the chat. Just hit enter and it'll pop up for you. Evelina, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Okay. I'm just trying to get this artist in, so give me a moment, y'all. I appreciate your patience. We're gonna dive into the music. We'll be on for like maybe 2 hours today. Maybe it's gonna be short and sweet. We're gonna be concise. Hopefully, ideally, we'll be concise. But let me double check a few things. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Y'all keep tapping the screen. Share out the live with a few people. I submitted one. It is AI. Not sure if this is AI friendly. Looking for songwriter feedback. Yeah, we were just talking about that with Nemo, the artist that's right above you in the chat. We were just talking about that. The way that I approach AI is I have my personal reaction. I have like my personal relationship with what it means for me and my process, right? And that I don't expect everyone to have that reaction to it, right? If you use AI and it's fulfilling for you, it gets your ideas out. It's a good demoing process for you. I have my like personal gripes with it. I have like my personal ways of approaching how I see using it in my process, which I don't, but I have that relationship for, but I don't expect that I should project that onto you. If it's fulfilling for you, if creatively it's inspiring for you, then that's your world to live in, right? I don't want to project, even though I have my own, feelings. I don't want to project that onto anyone else. I think that's up to you to decide if that's something that you're cool with. Okay, let me double check a few things. Follow that. Okay, let me see. I don't know if I do either, but I can't figure out how to do it from here. And then we got to get into the music. Hopefully they just pop up, but I'm trying to. Here, let me try it from my phone real quick. Prodigal Son Radio, welcome in. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Jose, welcome in as well. Y'all keep tapping the screen, share out the live. Don't forget to send your harmony. It does really help out the live stream quite a bit. Let me see. Just because they were really needing to get theirs after yesterday. So I'm going to try. I don't know if I'll be able to. Nice. That's awesome. Oh, producer Drew. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome. I love that. That's cool. That's cool. Obviously, that gives you, it's not just, practically sonically that it's better. It's that obviously gives you a lot of more legal and like publishing protections and mechanical, protections and stuff like that that are necessary to a lot of extent if you want to open things up. Because there are now, it's slowly coming up, but more and more DSPs are removing monetization for like songs that have AI. So it is something to think about. Again, that's not, I'm not hating because of that. I'm just like, Tidal is one of the top 5 like biggest DSPs out there, and they have demonetized AI. They've registered, I think, and demonetized AI. So that's where it gets interesting. And so I think the more that you're like, okay, here's the idea, here's the demo, here's the ability and the capacity I have to perform this. And then, if I can, I'm going to try to get some people. So at least I can have the full rights, and at least I can publish this. At least I can get royalties. At least I can have this registered as a copyright, and all of that stuff that is going to be necessary for you to get, a bit more traction. Toppy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, let me see if I can get it to them. If I can, I'll just hope that they hop in. If anyone in here knows Vadis, I know some people do as they come in. Retrack, thank you for the Go Populars, man. I appreciate you so much. How do you feel about Dolby Atmos music? I don't really care. People, it's a marketing push by the companies to, I think, integrate it as much as possible. But most environments, the most natural and listening environments, are going to be typically just stereo. So, until there is a massive push for every single company out there to sell $800 headphones to the average consumer to be able to like really healthily, perceive Dolby Atmos mixes, then it's just not going to be a thing. So I don't really care. I know so many people that spent like 30 grand on Atmos setups and they've already sold them. They just weren't getting Atmos mixes. The studios weren't funding them anymore. The labels weren't like requesting it unless it was something crazy. It's just, I don't care. I don't really care about it too much. Like people will want it. People will request it, and a select few engineers are gonna, they'll get a bag for mixing them and stuff like that. But I'm not concerned. I'm not worried about Atmos. There's nothing wrong with it. It does what it does. Legend has it, if Torvik was single, half the population would be single the next day. That's a crazy stat. That's a crazy stat. Okay, I'm gonna wait for Vadis. I'm not gonna wait for Vadis. I'm gonna dive in. We're gonna go in and get into the music, y'all. But Time Mine is good as you. I appreciate you tapping in. So we're gonna dive in. We're gonna get into some music here. We got Baba Genesis in the building. So we're gonna go in and dive into our music here. Hopefully Vadis makes their way in here. Hopefully they do. I'm only gonna listen to a handful of songs today, so we're gonna get in here pretty quick. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Welcome to the stream. Quick spiel before we dive in, just because I gotta move fairly quick today. If you've never been here before, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it. If you've never been here before, we got 2 lanes. We have a free line. That free line is up to 2 minutes of your song and a quick note. Those are fast and short and sweet. Up to 2 minutes of your song and a quick note on song structure at the end, or so on and so on. Hopefully to, just give you something you can work on. On the consultation side, which is the bulk of what we do here in this live stream, on the consultation side, those are 20 to 30 minutes. 20 to 30 minute multiple listen, deep dive breakdowns into the structure of your music. Those are not quick reviews. There's no trash or pass, no ratings, no polls. Those are long form, detailed breakdowns of the structure of your mix and master, production elements, sound design choices, lyric and song formatting, so on and so on. Those are, like I said, those are not short. Those are very long and they're very detailed. The goal is to offer some specific and actionable feedback on the structure of your music, what you're doing both creatively and practically within your music structure, whether you're a producer, an engineer, a songwriter, session musician, whatever it may be. Okay, so those are the 2 lanes right there. If you would like to submit your music for either one of those lanes, everything is at the link in my bio. So if you go to the link in my bio on TikTok specifically, you'll see the link. In that link, you'll be able to see the 2 lanes. You'll also be able to see the queue. So if you want to check the queue, the order, the minimums, kind of where you're at, the order that you want to go in, if you want to skip, you want to go faster, anything like that, it's all there at the link in my bio. If you're on Twitch, it's type !submit right there in the chat. The link will present itself to you. If you are on the YouTube, then you can go to the description for the live stream and everything is there. Gospel Country Logic, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for tapping in. Retrack, thank you so much for the gifts, man. I really, really, really appreciate that. Steven, thank you for tapping in as well. If you want the consultation, that's paid. Yeah, so everything's at the link in my bio. The free line, like I said, is up to 2 minutes of your song and a quick note at the end to help target something. If you want the 20 to 30 minute multiple listen consultation, that's on the paid side. All right, let's get into it. We got Baba Genesis and Chubarini, I think. Let me know who this is. Let me know who this is in the chat. Let me pull up the track on YouTube really quick. But we're going to go ahead and dive into the music here. Really quick, for those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. So that is kind of, and a classically trained pianist. So a lot of the structure of this live stream, a lot of kind of the perspective is just from that perspective. We're here to dive into the details. We're here to offer some nuance and offer some actionable feedback on your music. I'm not here to roast you. I'm not here to trash you. I'm not here to tear you down or anything like that. I'm also not here to hype you up and just give you exposure. If the algorithm hits and you get eyes and ears on music, fantastic. That's awesome. It's just not my priority, not the way that we've structured the stream. Like I say, some of these consultations take longer because I really want to get into those details. Okay, but let me know. Gospel Country, is that you? Is that you? Let me see. Shane, I got you. I appreciate you, man. I've got this pulled up here, but I do want to make sure that I have the right. I think it's got. That is you? Mika's here. What's up, Mika? Wait, whose is this really quick? Who is Baba Genesis? I need to know who that is because two people are saying they're here. That's you. So it's not gospel. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I was getting confused. I was like, wait, hold on. I was like, hold on. Who am I? Who am I talking? Or is it both? Are y'all both the same thing? Let me know. Not Gospel Country. Okay, got you. I've never heard it before, so I didn't know. I didn't before. Mika's like, nah, I don't know what the hell is going on. All right, my bad. I was like, I got confused because everyone was like, yeah, I'm here. All right, let's dive in. This is Baba Genesis and Chubarini, I think. We have the official visualizer here. This is Mika's band. So Mika, give me details, give me context. The thing I usually ask people is what role. Hold on, let me see. What role do you play in your music? So when it comes to the sounds that I'm hearing here, the production, the mix, stuff like that, let me know what you do in the structure of your music, and let's get into it. And also, if there is like a particular thing you're wanting to focus on, if there's something that's a pain point for you, there's something that you want to dive a little bit deeper into, of course, please let me know, and I'll do my best to address it. But this is Baba Genesis and Chubarini, HCYBMH. Let's dive in. I'm excited. Funky. I like that visualizer too. Did y'all create that? Who mixed this? Awesome. Is that you in the vocals? Okay, cool. Nice. This is sick. Very cool.
you ever make me blue? Oh, how could you?
Wow.
Turn the fairy tale into a nightmare. Blew up the stars, tore us apart. Oh, how could you break my heart?
Really cool. Come on. Great musicianship. Really cool production structure. Woo! Nasty. I love everything about this. I love everything about it. Man, y'all show some love. Show some love, show some love, show some love. That is Mika right here in the chat. Baba Genesis and Chubarini is the name of the band, I believe. Or at least Baba Genesis is the name of the band. Y'all show some love. Show some love, show some love. Really, really, really great quality, great structure, incredible dynamic range. Musicianship is just turned all the way up, and so many different factors on here that sound so beautiful. Amazing, amazing, amazing job. So let's dive into a couple things here. This is fun. Really, really cool record. I'm a big fan. I'm enjoying this a lot. One of the things that I love about this is this kind of hyper distinction and contrast between really anthemic, wide, ambiance environment, like all this space, all this width, all this openness, and like really dry, really distinct records. Y'all are using real instrumentation, like y'all are using the instrumentation, you're using the instrumental itself and the layers and the positioning to fill up this mix, not a ton of ambiance, right? It's crunchy, it's saturated, it's filled out well, but you're not like relying on a massive hall reverb to like fill everything out and make it feel spacious. You're relying on the instruments themselves. Now they're processed and stuff, but you're relying on what y'all are doing musically and what y'all are doing within the structure of the mix and the positioning of those elements to fill it out. So it just feels so full because each element is processed so cleanly. There's great separation. There's great clarity. I love it so much. Caesar, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Let's run it from the top. Let's dive into some details. I think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I'm assuming that it is out on all platforms. If it is, please let people know. I feel attacked. And Shane's coming after this. Never, Shane, never. If it is out on all platforms, please, it is. Okay, so since it is out on all platforms, y'all please go stream it. Go like the song. Go add it to your playlist. Go follow on DSPs. Go follow here on social media, so on and so on. Show them some love and support. Let's run it from the top. Let's dive into a couple details. Keep in mind, y'all, I'm going to be on for just a handful of songs today. And then we will open up the lines again tomorrow as well. Just had too many projects today I wasn't expecting. So a little bit shorter live today, but we will be live again tomorrow afternoon, or maybe even a little bit earlier, just depending on what I got to do. So definitely tap in then, but let's run it. False Kings got you. Appreciate you. Link in my bio. Just like, I got time for like one more to come into the line. So I got Shane in there. False Kings, I got you. I got time for like maybe one or two other people to hop into the line. I was hoping to get some from yesterday because we had to save a couple from yesterday's live stream that were pretty high up. And so I was hoping to get a couple of them in here. Swan's in the building. Speaking of Swan, do you remember where you submitted yesterday? I'll pull it up really quick, and then we'll get into the rest of this really quick. But I am going to close up the line pretty quick. I got you, Swan. I got you. I remember. If you remember, you submitted 10 yesterday, right? Latitude, welcome in. Good to see you. Latitude, if you're here for even half a second, random question, but what consoles are you using right now?
Close my eyes, imagine your
Just curious.
side tenderly, keeping me close to you. How did you hypnotize
Love the
me,
positioning.
make me lose
There's
my
a really, and again, like I'm talking about, like the instrumentation itself is filling out more of this mix than you are relying on space. That being said, there is some like really tight rooms. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. They're no, the big boys. The big boys. I'm contemplating. I really like. Okay, got you, Swan. I'll get everything moved over. Swan, do me a favor though. Submit in the free line. Submit in the free line, and then I'll boost you. And gospel, you submitted a consultation, a paid one. So I like mixing. I started as an engineer mixing on consoles. I just don't like working in the box as much. I just don't. I just get. I like producing in the box, and I like tracking and analog and stuff like that. That for me is what I've always done. But I really don't like just clicking and dragging and whatever. And I know I can get controllers. I've looked at the icons. I've looked at the SSLs. I've looked at everyone has one now. I think Mackie and Baron Jarrell have them too. I just don't like. I also do like being able to have more tactile control. And obviously Avid has them too, the S3s and the smaller docks and stuff. But I like tactile control of all of the different elements there. For me, I just move so much faster. You can like knock something out in 30 minutes because it's just all right there in front of you. I prefer that than having to like scroll down to the bottom one, resize all of the tracks and it's just a nightmare. So I appreciate that. My budget's not much. I'll be honest with you. It's nowhere in the realm of what you're talking. I spent all my money on synths, unfortunately. I spent my life savings on synthesizers over the last decade. So I don't have much of a budget, but I was curious what you were using. I've been looking at getting the either like the Soundcraft GB8s. I really like the Soundcraft GB8s. I've watched a ton of videos on them. I don't need much. I only need like 24 channels dumped from Pro Tools, essentially. Some that'll be summed, some that'll be stemmed. So I just need like 24. 24 out of Pro Tools into there, and then I'll track, and then I'll like 2-track out and do some mastering in analog. But it's pretty simple. Like I don't need much. I don't need much because I'm gonna probably group a couple things when I go there. So I've been looking at the GB8s because I like the GB8s, and I've also been looking at the GL 2400s or like the GL 4000s, the Allen and Heaths. Those are the two that I have. Yeah. I mean, that's generous of you to even do that. I appreciate that a lot. But I was just curious. I was curious because I know I've seen y'all stuff. I've seen your studio. Your studio's nuts. I love it so much. And so I know y'all do a lot of console work. And so I was like, you know what? I'm moving in that direction. Right now, everything is some analog tracking, but all in the box, mixing wise. And I want to bring it back out to faders. Just that's what I grew up mixing on. Like that's when I was learning in studio. When I was like, when I was working in studio and stuff like that. That's what I was learning on. That's what I did. Obviously, my background in live sound too. That's obviously all it was. Working on like Midas, Veronas and stuff like that. It was so fun. To me, it was more musical. It was more interesting to write the faders. It's more interesting to manipulate things in that way. So I know I am. So I was curious. I was like, you can do controllers, but then you just don't have, these like old, like vintage, British EQs and, just being able to insert immediately and like just drop something in there. So I was curious. So yeah, I mean, if you feel like looking at stuff, I'm probably looking under $1,500 or something like that. If I even end up kind of going that direction. Control, yeah, it's just a bigger mouse. And so the recall is nice, but what I'll probably be doing is like a lot of like just dry mixing and automation in the DAW really quick to just kind of lock it in and get what I need to as far as routing and then send everything to the strips and print from there. But anyways, you were in here. I saw the name pop up. I was like, hey, if there's anyone here who knows and has consoles, and you got you got a crazy console set right there. That's nuts. I figured I'd ask the question. So yeah, man, if you come across anything or I appreciate it. I I'm in the boat where, cheaper. I found some GL 2400s, like 32 to 40 channel, 4-bus, 2400s, the GL 2400. I found them for like $600-700, which, that's ideal. That's super small. I don't have a huge desk either. So that works out really well. I don't need any more than like 48 channels, top end. I really don't need anything crazy. But yeah, if you even just get any information on any of those, man, it'd be super helpful. Anyways, side note, we're back. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Puncture, got you. Appreciate you so much. Such a cool record. Such a cool record. I mean, it's such a good performance, top to bottom, left to right. I mean, just the slap bass, guitar tone, positioning, energy and emotion behind the vocal performance. There's so much just energy in this whole production. It's like everyone is operating at a really high level. Man, musicianship, vocal structure, absolutely fantastic.
Right after slip away from me like the sand. Wish you met my eyes in the crowd. Made me think that I'm the one for you tonight. When I close my
Got you, Swan. I see you.
imagine you by my side, tenderly keeping me close to you. Oh, did you hypnotize? Made me lose my sight easily. Made it feel like the time stopped.
I mean, again, just beautiful dynamic range too. Richard, good to see you. I appreciate you tapping in. It's good to see you in here. Just amazing dynamic range. Just the different movements, the different textures, the different energy. Just beautifully done. Gaga, we're not listening to popular artists. These are actually like independent artists and producers and bands. Some of them may be signed to like boutique labels and small structures and stuff like that. But most of the people that are submitting are either they're making the music themselves or they are someone who is like representing the music. Sometimes we get like labels and studios and agents and stuff like that, managers in here. But that's the people that we're listening to. Really quick, Swan, submit the song again into the free line and I'll boost you. I'll put you in the 20. Just because we saved you yesterday. Verseless in the building. Welcome in. But this is so gorgeous. It's so beautifully done. So beautifully done. I got you, Shane. I got you. I appreciate you. And then False, I got you as well. Yeah, just beautifully done. Beautifully done across the board. Love it, baby. Welcome in. Oh, that's okay. I see you over there. Just the energy switches. Just beautiful dynamics. Great texture. Come on. Shane, I got yours updated.
How could you ever make me blue? Oh, how could
I
you
can only imagine what this sounds like live. And the thing that I want y'all to listen for too, again, this is beautiful. This is polished. This is professional. This feels so well thought out, so well structured. It's intentional. Just the energy, the performance, it's absolutely gorgeous. But what I really want y'all to pay attention to is separation. That to me is one of the most important and most reflective of the professionalism of this track is the separation and the distinction. There's a lot of different instruments, a lot of different elements doing a lot of different things, different rhythmic structures, different melodies, different pockets. It's a lot of things doing, a lot of elements doing a lot of different things. And each one is like crystal clear, supported well, even when it gets crazy at the end of the song where just, the volume goes to 11 and everything comes in. You get this really beautiful presence out of everything, but you can still distinguish every different element in the song. It's great clarity, great separation. I absolutely love it.
turn the fairy tale into a nightmare? Blew up the stars.
Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
So bored. Oh, how could you break my heart?
It's so good. Pockets impeccable. Come on, Elijah, welcome in. When this goes crazy here in a second, listen for the separation between all these different elements. I mean, this is wall of sound, noisy, crazy, and you can still feel where everything is in the mix. You have this great clarity from the trumpets. You get this great clarity, especially earlier with the saxophone structure. Obviously, the guitars are fuzzy and they're nasty and they're dirty, but you can still pick up on each of these individual elements. It's a beautiful mix, great separation, great clarity, great distinction of every element in the mix, even when you're dealing with a wall of sound and these huge elements in the mix. It's just, man, it's mixed very, very well. So whatever friend, whatever they're doing, tell them to, I don't know if they're professional. I don't know if that's what they do full time or so on and so on. I keep doing what they're doing. You inspired me to pull out the headphones. Do it, Marvin. Do it, do it, do it. I don't know if that's what they do full time, but man, they should if they don't already. Gaga, I don't want you to get muted by a mod, but we're not listening to popular artists or popular songs. These are independent artists and songs, and songs that you are related to. So if you worked on a song, if you helped make Fractures by Lenium, then of course let me know. If you mixed it or something like that, let me know. But this is for people that are presenting their songs, and we're doing breakdowns of their music. So good. To still distinguish those layers. It's noisy, it's heavy, still great clarity. I love it. It's nasty. And then this is just dirty on purpose. This is crazy. It's killer. It's absolutely killer. Y'all, please show something. I wouldn't touch a thing. I would not change a thing in here. It's so clean and precise and intentional where it needs to be, and it's noisy and it's fuzzy and it's dirty where it needs to be. And it's just done in a way that is so cohesive. It's so interesting to listen to. It's engaging lyrically. It's engaging dynamically. Absolutely beautiful job. Mika, thank you so much for sending this in. I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much for sending that. What a treat to listen to. I appreciate that so much. Drizzy Kane, welcome in. Okay, let me update just a few things really briefly here, and then I probably will be closing the line fairly soon. But let me go ahead. Thank you for the follow as well. Let me open this up. And then Swan, I see you. So Swan, you had 15. Swan, you got 20 now. You got 20. You got a little boosterooski. Let me double check over here and make sure everything is in order. We got False Kings in the building. False Kings, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're here. We got False Kings. We got Shane Paul in the building. We got Swan in the building. From yesterday, got your song updated there as well. And Punctured, I got you in line as well. I'm going to try to move quick through these songs here. Let me refresh really quick, and let's dive into the next one. Let me see. Actually, Shane, it's putting you, I think, timing wise. There's Jesse. Jesse's False Kings, right? I think Jesse is False Kings. So we got Shane Paul. Let me just make sure I've got everything in order. Yeah, show Shane at the top here. All right, let's dive in. I'm going to try to move at a good pace so we can get through more music today. Let's go, Shane. I appreciate you so much, man. Welcome in. This is Twin. Heard the song many times. My listen through notes want this to be final submission for final mix down. Swan, appreciate you. Before mastering, snare, top mids down, overheads down, synth bass up, drum reverb down, and verse, background vocal, tail trim, outro guitar accent down. Let me know really quick. I almost said Twin because the song's name is Twin. Let me know, Shane, or Twin, but let me know, Shane, if if you've done the things that you made notes of already, or if you are going to do the things. And those are your final like notes before you kind of hit the next pocket there. But let's run it. Let's get into it. I'm moving quick today, y'all. I'm being concise as much as I can. Let me download this real quick so it doesn't glitch on us in here. Touched by God, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. It's downloading in 3, 2, 1. So close. All right, let's run it. Have it. Okay, gotcha.
I got a twin, an apparition in me. Yeah, he walks, talks, thinks, thoughts just like me. I got a twin, an evolutional dream. He can do it all bigger, better, faster for free. I wanna win. He's a winning machine. My competitive advantage is another of me. I got a twin.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Big brother is mean. He's got 007 minus 6 in his chains. They say it just brings us all together. They say it might make us live forever. Counterfeit piece of a great pretender. We'll never get by if we don't surrender. I don't know. I'm not convinced. It's a benevolent scheme.
Is that just the two guitars there, right?
I've already seen. I'm not convinced that it can set me free. One ring, one mind, one utopian beast.
you, Nemo. I appreciate you.
Falling from fear and calling deceivers your friends. Yeah. The state just brings us all together. The state might make us live forever. Count of 50, celebrate, pretend.
Gotcha. So 2 rhythms and 1 lead.
Never get by if you don't surrender. Can't save our heart.
Yeah, I feel you.
Can't save my soul. Can't resurrect this flesh and bone. Can't turn the flash. This inner soul. I still believe. Yeah, I know.
Check, 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 check. Okay. Okay. Are we confirm for me Twitch and YouTube really quick? If you're on Twitch or YouTube, let me know real quick if we're back. We're back. We're back. Thanks, y'all. It's been storming. I'm a little nervous. A little nervous. It has been storming. TikTok's back. Swan, let me know over on the Red app. It's the same stream to Red and Purple, so if it's good over there, it's good. And on both, it should be anyways. I'm a little nervous about my studio stuff in here really quick. It's been storming crazy here in San Antonio. Yesterday into today. In fact, yesterday there was a pretty big tornado like that touched down like just like 2 miles north of us. And it's lightning like crazy right now too. So I'm trying to figure out we're back, Swan. Okay. I just want to make sure that I don't fry anything here in the studio. So that's my one concern that I have. At least audio is back. You were stationed at Lackland? Yeah, that's a couple miles from, or not a couple miles, I mean, probably 10 miles or so from where we're at. Let me see. Let me check the weather real quick. Give me a second, y'all. If worst case scenario, Emma Jane, welcome in. Yeah, born and raised here. My wife and I were in Dallas for about 2.5 years, up until about a year ago, but we're back in San Antonio now. Let me see. Worst if it's gonna keep storming this crazy, I might need to hold some of these submissions for tomorrow's stream. I just can't risk frying everything in here. I'm gonna check the radar here just really quick. This is the 4th time the power's gone out here today. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. It's for one, this just like keeps happening, keeps like resetting the Wi-Fi, it keeps just messing everything up. Yeah, it might. Let me double check really quick. Hopefully it did go through, but it might not have because my power just went out again. So let's see. Let me just see where I'm at over here real quick, guys, just in case. I just don't want to. Yeah, I just have to prioritize. I can't risk things being too crazy. I got to be smart. I'm gonna get a bit more in like an hour, but that's not even necessarily why it's all going out. So let me see. Yeah, probably in another. For the music. It looks like storm-wise, we're good for like another 2 hours. But I don't know why the power went out right before I went live, and then it just went out. Obviously, just went out again, and had to reset everything. So I'm gonna keep going for a bit, but I'm gonna keep an eye out on the flickering lights and stuff over here, and just gonna see what's happening, because I cannot risk burning this stuff up, regardless of whether or not it's storming outside or not. I just can't risk anything bad happening. So I'm gonna do what I can, but I'm gonna keep my eyes on it. Worst case scenario, radar looks good technically for like the next hour to 2 hours or something like that. Worst case scenario. I'll save some for tomorrow, and I'll boost all of y'all, every single one that's in line. So if you sent it to 10, I'll bump you up. If you send it to 15, 20, I'll bump you up. I'll make sure that you have a shot to get a little bit more credit on there as well. Okay, let's get back into Shane's song, Fry Your Synths. We will never hear the end of it. Yeah, if these synths all fried, it'd be tough. I would not be very happy. I've got a lot riding on these synths. My business is riding on these synths. Okay, I'll have to use VSTs for a while. No, I'm just kidding. I use those anyways. Let's back it up here a little bit. Or wait, no, this is where the song was. So let me see. Okay, we still need to get to the end of the song here. So let's keep it rolling for a second. I'm gonna keep my eyes on things. Hopefully it's like I said, I don't know if it's just unstable right now because it's been raining most of the morning. But it's the power's just gone out more often when it's not raining, strangely enough. So it's already gone out a couple times, and so I don't want to risk it, but I'll keep an eye on what's going on. And if it feels too risky, then I'll save what I need to. All right.
Yeah, stick of it, digital stick of it. Do what you want, do it the flip of a fingertip. Whispering promises to make all of us infinite. Familiar problem we're establishing, isn't it? But they don't know. Hey, I don't know. Hey, I don't know. Hey,
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all show some love. Just hope everything works. Give me an update on the sound and stuff like that. If it seems like the sound and everything's back to normal, just let me know. Just because I had to just really quickly restart everything and re-kick it all back on. But y'all show some love. That is Twin by Shane. Let's dive into it, man. I already have some of the notes that you're already going to address. I do agree with a lot of the things that we've already talked about, right? So the stuff we've already addressed, some stuff you've already listed, right? As far as snare, top mids, overhead, synth bass up. I agree with that, especially if you're layering synth bass with that guitar. Push that forward. We definitely need a lot more weight in the low mids and the lows. We need a lot more energy right there. So I think a good 3-4 dB probably out of those lower bass, like sub bass stuff right there. We can definitely push that forward. It needs a lot more life. The drum reverb down, I agree with. Also that the drum reverb is really bright. So there's kind of two parts to that. You can bring the drum reverb down a little bit. You said in verse specifically. You can bring that reverb down if you feel like you want a little drier, tighter sound there. Nothing wrong with that. I would also darken it a little bit. So depending on the reverb that you're using, if there's a filter baked into it, I would just bring that down slightly, just a hair, in order to kind of soften some of the high sheen that's kind of sitting at the top right there, because it just makes it feel a little more digitally processed. You lose a little bit of that natural feel. Warming that up just a hair, I think it'd be really nice. Let's see what else you had here. Snare drum is not. Okay, let's listen. Let me see here. Overhead's down. Okay, yeah. Let's listen again. Let's chop through a couple things. Let's listen to some of the elements that you already had listed there. But yeah, I agree with a lot of things that you already said there, where we can kind of rebalance it. We can restructure it a little bit. And many of these things, as some of y'all know, we've heard the song many times. A lot of this stuff we've addressed in previous listens as well. All right, let's run it from the top.
I got a twin, an apparition in me. Yeah, he walks, talks, thinks, thoughts just like me. I got a twin, an evolutional dream. He can do it all bigger, better, faster for free. I wanna win, he's a winning machine. My competitive advantage is another of me. I got a twin, a big brother is mean. He's got 007 minus 6 in his jeans. They say it just brings us all together.
What's up? Welcome in. All right, we're still losing a little bit of that lead vocal, which I definitely want to be addressed before, like you said, you start to prep for mastering and kind of moving that direction. I definitely want to make sure that there's enough space for that vocal to exist in the middle of the mix. On the double, so you have a double tracked rhythm and then the lead over the top, right? At least for the hook right here.
Big brother, it just brings 007 minus 6 in his jeans. They say it just brings us all together. They say it might make us live forever. Counterfeit piece of a great pretender. We'll never get by if we don't surrender. I'm not convinced it's a benevolent scheme. This plot's got a twist that I've already seen. I'm not convinced that it can set me.
Do you have the bass? Do you have the synth bass underneath this? Like underneath your, what is, actually a guitar brought down? Do you have it underneath there right now? It does sound like there's a lot more weight to that lower part of the structure right there. What's going on? Hold on. Sorry. Technical difficulties, y'all.
Be free, one ring, one mind, one utopian.
I think they did say that they're having bad service. They're having bad service too. Nightmare. It's brutal. It's brutal out here. My power's going out. Things are getting fried left and right. His service is out. It's one of those days. It's one of those days.
Beast, you follow the leader to all you believers are falling for theater and calling deceivers your friends. Yeah. They say it just brings us all together.
There's that high mid ring.
They say it might make us live forever.
Okay, so I think, and this will be in the VOD, so if they need to go back and reference it, of course they can. I think on, like we already said, we're going to bring forth the high end that you get from the guitar. I think is fine. The one that's kind of being utilized as a bass in the sense, I think is fine. We'll support it more by the synth bass underneath it to get some more of those sub harmonics and a little bit more weight, a little bit more energy there. I think that'll be fantastic. As far as the guitars, they feel a little bit thin. They feel a little bit thinned out and filtered out for me a little bit, again, because we're gaining clarity by coming back to just 2 rhythm guitars instead of what was 6 at one point. We're bringing it back down to 2. And within that now we need to open them up, I think, a little bit more. I think we can open up top slightly. And even if we don't open at the top too much to give more space for the vocal, I do think that low end can probably come back a little bit. It just feels like it's maybe high passed a little bit too far. In tandem to losing some of the sub from the synth bass underneath that's kind of supporting the lower guitar right there. So I think we can increase a little bit of space right there. We can increase some energy in the mix by having the bass and what's supporting it a little bit higher, and bringing down our cuts and some of our filters that are happening on the other guitars as well, just because now they're the only ones there, which is better for clarity. I am quite literally, for the first time, having heard the song 10 times, I'm now hearing for the first time like the riff of the electric guitar in the background. The first couple times, and up until the last time that I heard the song, I was just hearing fuzz. I was just hearing this wall of sound. Now we're actually starting to get some separation. Now we're actually starting to regain some clarity and regain some distinction of those elements. And I can actually hear the boom, dum, 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 dum. I'm hearing these little riffs in the background that I did not hear all of the other time. So better clarity. Now we need to fill out. Now we just need to open it up a little bit more. That's so much better. I'm hearing things that I've never heard before, which to me is a huge positive. It's a huge step forward. If you could have, it's at the link in my bio. I'm going to have to close up here in just a little bit, y'all. It's a short live today. So I might close the line here pretty soon, or maybe, like I said, a couple artists I might still need to save again, just because power's going out and it's a shorter life by default anyway. So I'll get through as many as I can in this time frame, but we'll probably have to cut things a little bit short today. I will be live long tomorrow, so definitely tap in tomorrow for those of you who are wanting to submit music as well. It is typically at the link in my bio, though. We don't take, obviously, we're also not taking popular artists. This is not for people to submit or just request songs. This is for independent artists, musicians, and producers and engineers, so on and so on. I do too, Swan. Swan said, I like this guy's voice. I agree. There's a couple parts here. I would double check some of your compression settings. Like I said, these are some of your last stages before you get this off, to get like finalized and mixing. 10 a.m. your time. Oh, what do you mean, gospel? What do you mean? 10 a.m. my time. Since it's like the last little push right here, this little pocket right here, I don't know if these are in separate channels for you or if it's your same vocal here, but there's a lot of dynamic range. So your vocal cuts in, with some strength, which is beautiful. Love that. But it does dive in the mix as well. So there's sometimes between the drum sequence here, as well as like the guitars as they kind of bend up, all of the energy that starts building in this bridge right here. That vocal, every once in a while, some of the bottom ranges start to kind of fall out of the mix a little bit. So slightly tighter, just tastefully, transparently, slightly tighter compression on that vocal would be helpful to just bring up some of that low level information there. Regina, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So here, in this next section right here. No, tomorrow will be probably anywhere from like 1 to 2 p.m. Central. 1 to 2 p.m. Central.
Yeah, sick of it.
So in this little section right here, is where we start to get the vocal falling out of the mix a couple times, just because of some of it might be breath control, proximity, stuff like that. But this is the pocket where we're missing a little bit of that forwardness and just the consistency of that vocal staying at the front. So you can hear that like at the end of that, in the fingertip, it kind of falls back in the mix. We lose a little bit of that presence in there. And this whole pocket of the song, like this whole little section right here, should be strong, right? I mean, we got some nasty bends and some detune. We have a cool, tom groove going on. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of buildup right here. So I don't want that vocal to fall out because it loses strength. And there's a lot of like energy and strength getting built up in this mix right here. So this last little pocket right here, just want to tighten it up just a little bit, especially on the compression side. That way everything's nice and sharp and everything's nice and punchy right here. If you're connected to it, Dex, so if it's someone close to you or it's a record that you worked on, if you are an engineer, producer, musician, label executive, whatever it may be, if you're an agent, you're a you're a label, you're a manager. So if you have some connection to the song, those are those things that the things that we're listening to. Brian, thank you for the heart me. So like, when you go into these little pockets right here. And you go into these little pockets right here, that's where you get the inconsistencies. Slightly lower threshold, potentially. Slightly lower threshold, maybe if you have multiple compressors. Let's say maybe like second slower compressor, slightly lower thresholds, and a little bit more makeup. So that vocal is a little bit more controlled and a little bit more forward. That'll help it say a little bit more sharp. Hey, no worries. No worries. We'll get a little bit more body, like I said, a little bit more low mid out of these guitars. So if it's high passed at 150 or 200 or something like that, we can bring it down. If the 100 to 400 range is a little bit, suppressed, we can bring it forward just slightly, give it some more warmth, give it some more energy in those low mids, as well as like we already talked about, we're going to push that bass just a hair more like the sub underneath it, the synth underneath it to support it a little bit better. Once we have that, once we have tighter vocal control on this song and it feels more forward more often, it has better clarity in the mix. Once we have a little bit more body and openness from the guitars, once we have more support from the bass, I feel like we're moving I think we're moving to the end of what we have for this song, right? For these particular drums that we have, for these particular recordings that we have, I feel like we're moving to the place where we can kind of just polish what's here and move it forward. That's kind of what I'm looking for here, especially with all this song's been through. I think that we're kind of at the place where these last little decisions can be made to make sure the mix is full, make sure everything's really open and really vibrant, and then from there we can just kind of polish on the outside.
Do what you want, do it the flip of a fingertip. Whisper and promise to make all of us infinite. Familiar problem we're establishing, isn't it? But they don't know.
Yeah, 100%. Welcome in. Love it. The outro is like my favorite part of the song. I love it so much. And then Shane, if you missed any of that because of service or anything, obviously the VOD's available. So and hopefully it seems like everything's up and running on YouTube. So hopefully the VOD is good. I didn't say anything unless we were on the stream doing it. Okay, cool. If it's that way everything's super clean and clear. We also still have the Shane Paul. Shane Paul, it's time to get to the finish line. Time to get to the finish line. We'll polish it up. And then we'll get the song out, man. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for sending this in repeatedly, man. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. Let's keep going through it. I just take a little bit while longer on that one just because we had the power go out. So hopefully everything's on. Hopefully everything continues to work. So I'm going to try to get through as many of these as you can. I got time for just a handful more. I like honestly probably like two or three or something like that. I'm actually going to go ahead and close the line. With the power going out and with I was already going to do a shorter live, so I'm going to cut it a little bit short. I'm going to try to get as many of these in as I can. We got False Kings. Keep in mind though, if you get saved, I'm going to boost you the next time. So if you sent in 10, you're going to have like 15 or 20 the next time that you come in. So if you got to leave for any reason, or your power goes out, your service goes out, or I have to leave at the end of the day for any reason, I will always make sure that the next time that you come in, I'll have you submit for free. Submit the song again for free in the free line, and then I'll boost you up in the line as well. We got False Kings in the building. Jesse, hop in the chat. Call of the Wild, still in mixing process. This is the heaviest song thus far. My favorite. Wrote the lyrics about a personal tragedy. Looking for general feedback about the track. Let's get it. Let's run it. I'm assuming unreleased, right? It's time for False Kings.
Healing up, God, it's been so
And by the way, line's closed, y'all. Line's closed. I gotta cut it short. I'm still gonna listen to a few more, but we're closed. Tomorrow afternoon. What's up, Frost? Love the sound of this. Appreciate you, man. If you got a submission, let me know any other time. Submit free and I got your retrack. I appreciate you so much. Love the tension. Thank you for the heartbeat. Come on. Nasty. Yo, show some love. Show some love. Show some love. Show some love. 100% Swan. 100%. That is False King's Call of the Wild. It's Jesse right here in the chat. Show some love, man. Just what a powerhouse performance. This is currently unmixed. Like, this isn't finished at this point, but we're gonna dive into it. We'll talk about a couple details. I guess the thing I want to do for this is just maybe give some direction for, whatever you feel like would obviously be the most helpful for you, but give you some direction for the mix, just like some pain points to kind of look for to make sure you get as much out of this mix as possible. If that would be helpful for you. I mean, the performance is emotional. Great musicianship. Pocket is there. It's slow. It's swung. It has this great energy to it. So I'm excited, man. Let's dive into it. Before we played, do you remember yesterday's Her Own World, which is on the list, and unfortunately second or third before being played? Let me see. This is yesterday. Okay, I have the line right here. Anthony, Aiton, Richard, Vatis, we save on Grant, Rose, YC, Derek, Let's Chill, and then Swung. I got you in here today. And then on the priority list from yesterday, I got Normac, Brock, um, like a moth. Is that it right there? Her own world, like a moth. Is that what you're talking about? Is that the right one? And then I have NRVD. Boom. Yeah, I got you. Let me see. Submit it in the free line. Submit it in the free line. I'll boost you. Submit it in the free line. I'll see what I can get to today. I'll boost you up. I got you. Okay, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. False Kings, Call of the Wild. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. This starts with so much energy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Right off the bat, the kind of the theme of what I want to talk about here. My neck's been beating me up. The thing that I want to talk about, and I think that what's going to be one of the most important aspects of this is clarity for your mix, because I want this to be as heavy and as wall of sound and as distorted and as lively as possible. At the same time, what's up, Raiden? Welcome in. At the same time, I still want clarity. I don't want too much mud. So as you're looking in the direction of the mix, this is unmixed, but as we look in the direction of the mix, one of the things that I want you to focus on, and I want you to kind of make one of y'all's kind of North Stars when it comes to this, is clarity between drums, bass, and low rhythm guitars. Currently speaking, there's a lot of low mid, like a lot of low end and a lot of low mid, in the at least lower double tracked rhythm guitars, maybe more, but at least the lower end right there. So that 100 to 300, 100 to 400 hertz range has a lot of information right there. It would do this track a lot of good to bring some, not all, because it'll sound thin and nasty, bring some of that energy out of the mix and allow some space for the bass to actually fill that in. But right now, we're getting a lot of mud right there and a lot of boominess right there in tandem to a boomy, thick bass in there as well. And so those two things kind of working together make the mix feel like there's a lot of kind of boominess and thud and kind of woof in that low section of the mix right there, especially like 400 hertz and below. So even like with these early rhythm guitars here, like even without a bass coming in yet, right? It's really, now it should be heavy. It's really heavy. There's going to be a nuance, right? There's going to be a big difference between like a 80 hertz, cut, low cut, and a 140 hertz low cut or 120 hertz low cut, right? You might want to, high pass or low cut at like 120, 110, 120, and then take that range from 100 to 300 to kind of control some of the thickness and the boominess right there and give it a little bit more openness. Just wait, because then again, I don't want it to thin out, but you're going to replace some of that energy in the low mids with the bass. So that bass is going to open it up a little bit more. Because that low bass is really heavy and has a lot of great tone to it, but it's kind of disguised by all of the other really low, really thick, really low end heavy elements in there. So the more you clarify that, the more we're going to feel all of those nice little bass lines that you have in there as well. Okay, now right in here, about 46 seconds is where I start to hear this when we push into a higher register. Honestly, one of the only other things that I think I want you to kind of look for. The rest of this is just going to be balancing, right? EQing and just kind of opening up the mix a little bit more later. One of the things I want you to focus on, though, on that vocal is EQ, that's being reverberated in the vocal as well. So right around 2000-ish hertz, we have this nice little ringing in the middle of the vocal, and then that's carried for the next 4 or 5 seconds because of this big chamber hall reverb, right? So we get this nice kind of piercing ring in the middle of the mix, and then that carries it for a while. So I don't mind the reverb because to me that's just it's a part of this dynamics, it's a part of this aesthetic, and I want to keep a lot of that space and a lot of that air there. At the same time, I still want to make sure that any like kind of abrasive frequencies aren't then being like delayed and reverberated later on, because it's going to cause this big buildup of that energy. So around 2000 hertz ish, 1800, 2200 hertz, kind of in the pocket right there. Just find where that ringing is happening. It should be kind of right around that range. Find where that ringing is happening, a nice tight cue, notch it out, And that should clarify that vocal a little bit more. And if it's the same kind of structure happening on the backgrounds as well, then take care of it in the backgrounds as well. That'll clarify all your vocals, will clarify the guitar, leave room for the bass. There'll be more energy behind the vocals because it's not ringing. You can push them forward, and then the whole mix will just kind of, to me, it'll kind of fall in place because what you have here already sounds pretty damn good. It sounds really, really nice. I want to bring a lot of the reverb down on most of our stuff. My vocals sound chambery. Yeah, they're very chambery. I don't mind the space. You just have to make sure that what's there, it's not a negative buildup of things that are happening. I do want more clarity. So if you do feel like you want to clarify it a little bit, chain it slightly, or just bring it down by 15% and regain a little bit of clarity in the mix, I'm all for it. That's a very stylistic decision. So if you feel like you wanna clarify it even more, 100%. They are kind of stepping on each other's toes a little bit, like I said, because there's so much reflection. So that's one thing I would address. A little right in there, you'll start to hear that kind of ringing at the top end right there. Again, notch that EQ just lightly, a couple dB. You just need, maybe 3 dB, at that, 2000 hertz, 2200 hertz range right there. Just a couple dB will help solve for some of that ringing right there. Address it on all the vocals. A little bit of suppression of your reverbs or automation of it. If it's auxed, of course, it makes it really easy to automate the wetness right there. That way, if you wanted a little drier in the verse to leave some space for those screams and some of the other layers that you have, and then you open it up a little bit more on the hook, that could be valuable for your dynamics as well. Great separation of the doubles right here. Those are beautiful, really, really, really wide. Those will sound even better when we can distinguish the hits from the bass and the kick. So I'm excited for that. This is not far off. It needs some polish. It needs some just intentionality, right? You just kind of need to dig into the guitars for 30 minutes, but this is not far off in any way. What y'all have recorded and what energetically what y'all have done, I think is fantastic. Positioning and levels of your harmonies, I also think is really nice. The positioning is great. They're drowned out by the reverbs that we've already talked about. They're there, and I like what they're doing, and I like where they're doing it. But they're kind of completely disguised by other processing. So that is where we could definitely regain some separation, because if you do mitigate some of the issues that you're getting with your reverb, some of it being the ringing and then some of it just being the level of the reverb, it'll actually make the mix feel wider in some senses, because we're going to distinguish the wider elements with better clarity. Right now, it's kind of all washed, under this kind of haze of reverb. And so the more that you control that, even just bringing it down a hair, we'll actually hear those background vocals even more. It'll feel nice and poppy in the outside of the mix. Welcome in. Riffs are nasty, vocal texture's great. Love the sound on the snares. So, snares a little bit, I really like, again, same thing. I really, really like what they're doing. There's some parts that feel same, a little bit over reverberated. You could probably pull that back 5%. We could probably open up top end, even just simply on the bus potentially. Open up the top end of the drums by just a hair. Let them breathe a little bit. Let them pop open just for a minute and maybe dive. Now, I like these big, room reverbs and these big halls that we have. Obviously, they set it into a lot of space, but I think even those can dry up lightly, so we get more of the sound, we get more of the energy of the song. It feels more direct. We don't feel too separated from the song, like everything's coming at us from 30 feet away, but it feels a little bit sharper, a little bit more direct. Still spacey though. Like I said, I don't want to step on the vibe of the song. I just want a little bit better clarity. Killer. Awesome. Performance is so good, man. Killer. I wouldn't mind the harmony structure and low melody right here. Personally speaking, I wouldn't mind if y'all retract that and we're a little bit more intentional with the melody choice right there. The first two notes of that are a little shaky. They're a little unstable. I think the low harmony takes a note or two to catch before we lift in the side until we get right there. First two notes are a little bit shaky. And so I think one of the lower, it might be the one on the right side, one of those low harmonies on the right or left side, I'll have to listen again, are a little bit shaky. I wouldn't mind if those were a little sharper, if those were like a little bit more intentional the way that they come in. Might even just be the scoop and it tears me up in. There's a little bit of like a scoop up into each note. Tears me up in. I'm trying to think of how we walk into that. It might actually just be the lead. I think the layers might be okay because they're holding, I think, more, distinct notes. Just double check it. Threw that in there on the whim. I like that it's there. But I think we can polish it. I think we can polish it a little bit. It comes in a little bit funky. Just one of those notes in there. We're sliding into it a little bit. So it sounds out of tune because of the way the harmonies are holding. So I would just maybe address that. I mean, of course you can like correct it if you want to. But yeah, 100% getting beautiful. Yeah, and then it's an easy work. Because I like that they're there. I like what they're doing. But yeah, a little sharper on the introduction, you'll be good. So killer. Y'all show some love to Jesse in the chat. Show some love to Jesse. That is Call of the Wild False Kings. Gorgeous record, man. Gorgeous record. I love everything about it, man. It's powerful. It's energetic. It's a wall of sound. It hits you hard. Lit up. I think the name of the game is just like clarity, separation, controlling ambiance so that we're not stepping on each other's toes with all the different elements in there since they're all reflecting a lot. But man, the song itself is good. The energy, the performance, all of that's fantastic. So well done. Y'all show some love, man. Show some love. Shout out to Jesse. And then real quick, let me see. All right, we got Swan in the building. Swan, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. I'm trying to move quick. I got maybe like two more in me. And then really quick, let me see. Frost, did you submit yours back into the free? It's killer. It's so good. So good. Let's see. Is it under a different name? I'm not seeing it. Let me refresh. Swan's in the building. Swan, you're up. Is it the same song name? I'll pull it. Let me see. I'm not seeing it. Swan's in the building. I got you. I'm not seeing it for some reason. But you submitted it before that? Yeah, you're set to go, Swan. You're set to go. I got you. You're up next. Because if you submitted it before, I should have it on there. Oh, but when I said earlier, before I close the line, did you submit it into the free line today? Before I close the line? Okay. I'm going to open the line for a second. Resubmit it into the free line, Frost. Resubmit it into the free line. And as soon as you do, let me know, and then I'm going to close the line again. Just because I can't take any more submissions today. So it is. Sorry, Swan. I'm talking to Frost. All right. The line is open only for Frost. It is open only for Frost. So Frost, submit it. And then as soon as you submit it, let me know, and I'm going to close the line again. If you submit during this time, that's on you. It's closed, and we're going to be out of here in just a minute. Quick reminder. You're good, Swan. You're good. Quick reminder that if you're still on the line, it's going good. Fariz, I appreciate you being here. If you're still on the line, I'm going to save yours for tomorrow. And the ones that are saved, if you keep it saved, I will boost yours, right? So if you come in tomorrow, just like I'm doing for Frost right now, Frost is going to submit into the free line, and then I'm going to boost him, and he'll actually get more credit than he submitted the other day in order to give him just a little bit more edge. I got 2 more songs. So I'm going to do Swan right now, and then Frost is going to come in. Frost has a boost from yesterday, so his is going to go forward. And those will be the last 2 that I remember. I'm sorry, I'm reading too many messages. That'll be the last one that I listened to, and then we'll open up the line again tomorrow, and I'll boost everybody who was saved. So you get a little bit more of a boost in the live. In fact, 2 people already today were here the other day. I boosted them forward, and that's actually what's allowing them to get played a little bit faster. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Yours will be tomorrow. And I'll add to yours as well. I'll add to yours to make sure, add to yours tomorrow to make sure that you get a little bit more there. Like a moth. Okay, got you. I got you. So let me close the line. I'll be on probably around 1 or 2 p.m. Central Time. 1 or 2 p.m. Central Time is kind of what I'm aiming for. Okay, line is closed. Let me get this one pushed. Boom, boom, boom. Well, all right, there we go. Boom, got you. You're moved. All right, Swan's in the building. Swan, I think this is officially now my first time hearing your song. If I'm mistaken, please let me know. You're good, Swan. I'm on 3 different platforms, so it gets confusing. Every Day Over Again by Swan Fane. My 3rd song ever. I've got monetary limitations, so I'm doing all the mixing myself. I produce it from scratch on Logic. Love that. Using an AKG P220 mic and a cheap interface. Need some mixing tips. Going more for indie Radiohead type of mix, not too clean. Beautiful. Love that. Love that so much. Let's dive in. Last 2 songs. Nice.
So when the sun comes up and the birds are chirping, well, that's my cue to go. Step away from safety, repeated motion slow, and the taxes hit me, the clock is ticking slow, and it's time to let it go.
Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
I find it difficult not to get up in my head. I think too much, dear, but not enough to understand. It's all a miracle. I'm standing where I am, and when the time's here, I'll do it all over
Cool feel. Let's go. Y'all show some love. Show some love. That is Swan Fang. The song name is Every Day Over Again. Let's get into it. We're gonna run it straight from the top. We're gonna dive into a couple details here. So here's the trick, right? Here's the thing that we're gonna wrestle with, and this is the thing that we're gonna figure out with this mix. And of course, you just always have to kind of keep in mind is how do we honor the vision for the song, honor the aesthetic, make sure that it's fuzzy and it's dirty and it's detuned and the guitars are bendy and the drums are, overdriven and really saturated. And we have all of these interesting elements dynamically in the song and sonically in the song, right? So it doesn't feel perfect. It feels nasty. It feels underground. It feels garage. You know what I mean? Like we want it to be really, really raw. At the same time, of it being palatable enough and polished enough that it's palatable by the consumer, right? This is something that Radiohead has figured out, and a lot of bands similar to that have figured out. And so I think that's kind of going to be the playground you got to be on here. Is like how do we find that like balancing act between clarity so we can still hear what's going on and we can still kind of understand the song. We still feel the vocals. It's not just harsh and brittle to listen to, but also it's still dirty. You know what I mean? Like it's not too clean, it's not too transparent, but it actually has some color and some texture, right? That's what I want to dig into a little bit. So let's run it from the top. Every day over again. Swan Fang. We'll cover a couple quick things here, but it mainly has to do with like mixing details. A couple little production things, but mainly mixing details. I actually like a lot of the energy behind this intro here. It's a little like it's got the fuzzy of doing this C, right? The C to F, like it has a lot of tension right there, but I like it. I don't mind it. We're a little taken over right now by the bass and the lead fuzzy guitar on the right side right here / synth mic that might be kind of mirroring that. Those to me, just balance wise, are probably 2-3 dB forward. Now I love what they do. So, and they'll still be loud. 3 dB quieter, they'll still be loud. They can probably come down by 2 or 3 dB to just leave some room for this vocal to come in and find a better balance. Because right now when they come in, it makes these kind of snappy drums feel really soft because they're just so much louder than everything else. So 2 or 3 dB down, I think we'll rebalance those for your main fuzzy bass and that guitar on the right side. That little high, arpeggio that we have here.
So when the sun comes up and the birds are chirping.
Okay, same thing with some of these other. I think a lot of this is really just balancing because I don't mind like rough sounding instrumentation. I want it to feel interesting, right? This lead guitar sequence that you have on the left side, these like hammer-ons and stuff like that, and like open strings that you have. That guitar on the left side, love what it's doing. It probably just needs to be back by 5 dB. It needs to be more textural than it is a main lead element. That the general rule, general thing that engineers talk about all the time that I mention in this live all the time as well is if everything is loud, nothing's loud. If everything's quiet, nothing's quiet. If everything's wide, nothing's wide. That you need contrast and you need contradiction to that for it to make sense. So in this case, it's kind of like everything's loud. So everything's forward, everything's fuzzy, everything's loud. And because it is, we don't really feel a lot of the dynamics. You can't really make out a lot of other elements in the mix because there's so much energy being poured forward in the mix, right? So this little guitar on the left side doing those high arpeggios and like high hammer-ons and stuff like that, it's a great, I love the way that it sounds. I love what it's doing in the mix, but because it's so loud, it makes everything feel forward and everything feel loud. And it actually kind of loses its meaning a little bit. If that was kind of tucked into the background, even like 4 or 5 dB back, and it was a softer element of the song, but still just as distorted, just as noisy, just as, kind of like nasty, right? It has a lot of tension to it. You can keep all of that color and all of that texture, but balance-wise, pull it back so there's more room for other things to happen. That's, to me, the balance of the mix is probably one of the most important aspects here. Of course, we can polish some EQ, we can move some things around, but for me, I like a lot of the interesting decisions that you're making. They're just all forward. They're all very loud, and because of that, you're losing your kind of distinctions in the mix here.
That's my cue to go. Step away from safety, repeated motion slow. And the taxes hit me, the clock is ticking slow.
It's really stepping on the toes of the lead. So Your lead now, I like a nice, a nice kind of telephone megaphone filter in the middle of the mix, right? It's filtered down, it's saturated well, it has like some slap delays on it and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I would give it a little bit more energy, just a little bit more edge on the low end. Right now, it's really, really, really thinned out, so we're losing any amount of presence from the vocal. So if you're high passing all the way up to 600 hertz or whatever it may be, if you're cutting a lot of that low end out, it could be nice to have a little bit more in there, and or have another layer that's a little bit cleaner that supports it, like a low octave. If you're dun 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 dun, dun, like it could be nice to have like one other layer of the vocal that's a little bit cleaner that you kind of tuck in underneath it to support it, or whatever that however that makes sense for you. But I do think it'd be nice to just clarify that a little bit, because everything's loud, because everything's kind of fuzzy. I think if you pull down bass a little bit in the other elements, you pull down that guitar, that will help with clarity, and then just like introduce a little bit more of those low mids, like 400 hertz, 300 hertz, a little bit more right there, just to bring back some life from the vocal while still keeping the filter. If you still want that filter sound, maintain the filter, but try to add in just a little bit of energy. If not, support it by something else that does have that energy.
And it's time to let it go.
And watch a little bit of like the ringing and over resonance that's happening at about 2K, similar with the last artist. Right around 2K, it starts to ring a little bit. It's amplified by the reverb, same story. So in that little pocket right there, watch that 2K, because it's gonna, once it starts ringing, once it starts opening up, then it becomes noisy, it becomes more abrasive, than it becomes vibey, and we want to keep the vibey part of it. So just watch some of the ringing right there. Same thing, tight Q, little notch down, 2 or 3 dB out, rebalance that local just a hair, and then you'll be able to push it forward a little bit. Bring up more of the low end on the vocal. Yeah, not super low, right? It would be like, just as an example, I'm not gonna be able to do this too cleanly right now, but let me see. So that's 80 hertz. So just as an example, let's say, let's try this real quick. I'm gonna filter this down, right? Let's say we're here, right? We have this, high filter on the vocal, right? I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. We have this high filter on the vocal, and let me bring this down to 12 dB, boom, boom. And I have this high pass at, 900 hertz, right? So this is kind of, with a bunch of reverb. What's up, Alexa? Welcome in. This is kind of what I'm hearing, right? It sounds, obviously interesting right now, where it's like really, it's filtered, yes, but it's really, really thinned out, but we're missing all of the like low end life out of the vocal. There's just no information down there. So even just dropping this down a hair, and still having a bit of this filter, I dropped this down 200 hertz. It's 200 hertz lower, and I can still get, some of these like mid pushes where this still sounds, like a telephone filter, and then you distort this a whole bunch, you saturate it like crazy. You can still get a lot of that texture and have just a little bit more low end information there. So let me bring this back down to my original really quick, just so you don't thin it out too much. That sounds nasty. Let's see, let's bring this back up. Where's my vocal again? There we go, and we're back. And we're back. Let's bring that up just a little bit. But even just that, right? Just a little bit more body. You're going to feel your vocal more in the mix. Same effect, or very, very similar effect, but a little bit more energy there. What's up, Alexa? Welcome in. I see the dots, but I said hi before, but I don't. Maybe it was missed. Maybe it was missed, or maybe I'm missing another comment that's getting blocked or something like that. Wavelength in the building. What's up, Wavelength? Welcome in. Okay, let's get into this next section here. Okay, this little pocket here, this is one of the only other things that I think production-wise you can focus on. There's the only thing that I would say here, is there's so much movement. Don't spam the chat. If you spam the chat, you're going to get muted. We're closed for today, but we'll be live again tomorrow. So if it's your music and you would like us to play your music, then we'll be live again tomorrow afternoon, and we'll open up the line. We'll take as many songs as we can. It should be a longer live tomorrow than it is today. Last thing that I'll say here, Swan, is this little section right here. There's so much movement in the bass line that doesn't quite settle. It doesn't resolve to what you'd call like the root note underneath it very often at all. And because of that, it makes it feel really unstable. And I think not in like a flattering way. Like again, there's a time where like tension is a good thing. And there's a time where some shakiness is a good thing because it gives you a particular vibe and a particular aesthetic. In this case, the bass line is changing so much and not resolving to the same progression that the guitars are. They're separate. They're kind of doing their own thing. It just makes it sound noisy. It just makes it sound busy. And that's where I would love to clarify it a little bit and have a little bit more of the kind of dun, 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 dun. Like I would love to hear that progression doing what it's doing, but I think because it walks around so much, we lose a lot of like ground of like how do I track the song? How do I like stay with the song and learn your vocals? Because the brain is pulled in a lot of different directions. Now, obviously, if you want your audience to learn your lyrics, you want them to learn the song, hear it, understand it, be able to like relate to it. It's catchy enough and memorable enough that they want to remember it. Then we can't have too many distractions to that. And so if you have it's happening on the left side, it's really, really loud, like we've already talked about. And we have another different guitar riff doing a whole different melody on the right side. It's pretty loud. We already talked about that. And then we have a bass line. The drums are doing their thing, but it's also fairly complex sometimes in its rhythm. And then we also have a bass line that's walking around a lot. It's doing a lot of different movements, a lot of different scaling in the background right there. That's a lot pulling your brain's attention away from those lyrics. Now, especially now, the lyrics are, the vocal structure's thinner. What's up, Isaac? Welcome in. The vocal structure's a little bit thinner, right? It's because of the filter and the stuff we already addressed. So that's part of it. But I would love to potentially simplify the bass line in this section, have it a little bit more grounded. This is a nice little chill, low dynamic moment before you go crazy again. So it'd be nice to maybe simplify this, make it smoother, make it chiller, make it a little bit more easy. And then you can go crazy again in the next section. Everything can get loud again. This particular little moment, I think it'd be nice to keep it a little bit simpler. Flex, welcome in. I can, but we are closed for today. We'll be live again tomorrow. So if y'all want to submit music, you want a 20 to 30 minute breakdown of the structure of your songs, then we'll be live again tomorrow, early afternoon Central Time. Just make sure y'all are following. Right here. Like we build it up again right there for that last hook, but I think if you can just clarify that, to just follow like maybe the E to the F to the B, E, something like simplify it a little bit so there's some space for us to just hear the song, hear the lyrics, and then you can push into the, the next time that you like we can get back into that riff, which is a great riff too. It's got tension to it. It's nasty in a good way. I think once you get back into that, I think it'll ground itself again. But in that little pocket right there, it could be nice to just simplify lightly and put it in a space where it feels really consistent, and then light it on fire again. Y'all show some love, man. That is Every Day Over Again by Swan Fang. I like the style. It's moody. It's chill. It's got a cool underground, grungy, distorted feel to it that I think, like I said, if we can bridge the gap between really loose, really free, really underground, really raw, really distorted and noisy, if we can bridge the gap to like here's modern pop record over here, like here's a Sabrina Carpenter song over here, and here's you on the far other side over here where it's dirty and it's grungy and it's got a bunch of interesting tension to it. If we can just kind of come to here. Right? If we can take you from, if pop's over here and you're way over here, if we can take it to here, I still want to be way over here, but if we can just bridge that gap a little bit and have some level of polish and groundedness to your progressions, to the balance of your different elements, I think it'll be fantastic. I'm not worried about it. Y'all show some love to Swan. Appreciate what you do so much. Let's get into it. This is going to be our last song of the day. Joe's in the building. Welcome in, Joe. Appreciate you being here. We got Like a Moth by Her Own World. Frost Project in the Room, I believe is who we're talking to here. So let me read through this really quick. Her Own World is a Polish project delivering a powerful fusion of darkwave, industrial, and electronic rock. Let's go. Our music blends heavy distorted guitars with hypnotic synthesizer drives and striking vocals. Love it. With this track, we deliver dark, intense atmosphere and a driving rhythm. We'd love to get your feedback on the production, the balance between electronics and guitars, and the overall all vibe. All right, this song is released on all platforms. So if you like what you hear, go stream it, go like it, go add it to your playlist, go follow on DSPs, follow Frost Project here. I don't know if you have a band page, but definitely follow what they're working on. But this is Like a Moth by Her Own World. Last track of the day. Let's run it. And any details on who's here in the chat and what you do, let me know. I love it, Swan. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for tapping in.
The flame of desire, hidden between the lines. Your heart starts to burn like fire, breaks out the chest beyond mind.
Cool. Nice mix. Great dynamics. Great dynamics. I like that.
My flame so enchanting, it tears your soul apart. Closer you come, like a moth through the fire. You dance for the promise of last. Learn by my light, with my hypnotic glow, I ignite a passion and watch as you fall.
Awesome.
I watch as you fall.
How are y'all tracking drums?
The closer you come, like a moth to the fire, lured by my light, you dance for promise.
Awesome. Like the auto panning.
Closer you come, like a moth through the fire. You dance for the promise of last. Learn by my light,
Very cool.
with my hypnotic glow, I ignite a passion and watch as you fall. Closer you come, like a moth to the fire. You dance for the promise of last. Learn by my light, with my hypnotic glow, I ignite a passion and watch as you fall.
Very cool blend of the electronic in there. Let's go. I'm just making sure there's nothing here, but yo, show some love. Show some love, show some love. That is Like a Moth by Her Own World. It is out on all platforms. Go show some love and support. Go like it, go follow, go add it to your playlist, go stream it, all that good stuff. Quick technical note at the very end right here. The song ends at about 4 minutes and 29 seconds, and then there's about 16 seconds of dead file space at the end of the song from the session. I would make sure that you cut that in the future, right? It's a small detail. I'm not saying this is going to make or break your record. It won't at all. But it's just little things like that. Just a little bit of polish. It's going to make it to where when people listen to the song in another session, or I'm sorry, in a playlist or something like that, there's going to be this 16-second gap between the song ends and their next song in the playlist doesn't start. And then people start trying to figure out what's going on. You just don't want any of those little pain points, right? You just don't want any of those, like, wait, what happened on the song? Like, why is my next song not playing? You just want as seamless of a transition, when you're on platforms as possible. It's a great song. I mean, y'all are crushing it. At 420, it'd be way cooler. That's true. But let's run it, man. It's Katie. Thank you so much for tapping in. I really appreciate you joining the stream. I would absolutely love to check out your covers, but we are closed for today. We'll be live again tomorrow, so bring your song in when we open up the lines again, probably around 1 or 2 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. Definitely tap in. I would love to hear what you got. Let's run it from the top. Let's dive into some details. We'll get into just a couple things, but honestly, when some of your questions were like, how is the blending of electronic versus real? How is the, balance between synth and, electric guitars and stuff like that? I think y'all nailed that part. Of all the things that you nailed that part. The blending of instrumentation, the balance between those elements, I think is fantastic. Stop, Magic. Stop it. I feel like I could, my brain just goes, just shuts down every time I see that. Anyways. The balance between all of that, I think, is fantastic. Now, I'll bullet point a couple things that I'm hearing right away, and then we'll go back through and we'll chop through it so I can kind of get them out of the way, because there's like 2 or 3 small things that I'm hearing. One, amazing vocal, strong lead vocal, good melodies, beautiful, absolutely fantastic. On the mixing side, there is some sibilance that it is kind of slicing through the mix. So those S's, T's, C's, and K's sometimes, they really slice through the mix. The rest of the vocal mix is really warm and really beautiful and really, really well structured. Every once in a while, that harshness cuts into the mix just a little bit. I wouldn't mind a hair of either manual de-essing or just like a hair of de-essing on that vocal to help control some of the harshness of that sibilance so those S's aren't slicing through the mix. Everything else is so saturated, it's so distorted that nothing breaks through that, and then you randomly hear these really sharp S's cutting through. So a little bit better balance on that side, I think, would be really helpful. It'll just kind of soften that vocal mix a little bit, make sure that nothing kind of randomly slices through. And then there's one or two, we'll go back through it, 1 or 2 other transitions where I wish the transition from one section to the next was a little stronger. So I think what y'all are doing, fabulous. I think y'all as a band, as a sound, I'm looking at your page here, as an aesthetic, as a mood, you got it. Your visuals are fantastic. The music is really, really solid. The only 2 things that I really picked up were some of the harshness coming in, and then some of the transitions feeling like they lack energy going into the next section. That's one of the very, very few things. But man, y'all are awesome. So we'll chop through pretty quickly. There's really not too much else that I need to focus on. I think y'all are doing the main structure here. Fantastic. Really, really good. I love all the synths. I love it. What's up, Derek? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you so much, man. Have a great day.
The flame of desire,
Balance on the production all sounds great here.
hidden between the lines. Your heart starts to burn.
And then your heart starts to burn. Those little lines right there. That's where I start to hear the starts to, that little line right there, and a bunch of other lines. But that's where I start to hear those S's with a little bit more sharpness. Just like 3 dB of reduction on a de-esser to help not pull it out, but just kind of suppress it a little bit, I think would be really nice.
Your heart starts to burn like fire. Breaks out the chest for your demise.
So even here, I'm gonna go back here just for a second. Even right here in this little pocket, let me hear. That transition, as you hear the S's on the Carly Rae Jepsen song, tiny little vowels. Dude, same with Fun Tonight by Fun. Your song has like 3 billion streams or something like that. You can tell there's two different vocal chains from verse to hook. I think it's on the hook. The S's are brutal. It's brutal. There's songs out there with billions of streams. It doesn't mean we can't, try to mitigate them when they happen. But sometimes there's songs like that get pushed out quickly. Fun used to rehearse at my house. No way. Okay, but yeah, beautiful. I love that. I love it. Okay, so a couple little pockets in here. The transitions right here, I don't know if it's just levels. That's crazy, dude. That's amazing. If it's just levels of crash, maybe transitioning right here. I think the energy is so high leading up to it off the D minor. Dun, 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 dun. The energy is so high, which I love. That sounds awesome. Sounds fantastic. Energy is so high going into it that when we transition to these like bigger moments or these hooks of the song or these breakdowns of the song, it doesn't quite go as far as I think we wanted to because the transitions aren't as dynamically different. So I'm gonna hear this section again just real quick. So when it comes to the blending of your synth elements, you have a couple things, right? We have these heavy guitars that come in double tracked rhythms. They sound gorgeous. They're beautiful. What you might want to do is like pull out a few elements or even like automate the, a high pass or whatever you want to do. Thin out a couple elements right before the breakdown right here. So when those guitars come in and the drums kick back in again, it feels dynamically different. It feels like we reached a new moment, a new climax of the song, right? The dynamics shift quite a bit more. Right before it, we still have the low synth. So the dun, 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 we still have that synth. Excuse me. Still have the low synth in the background right there. And that's what's creating a lot of the energy leading up to this with the cleaner guitars over the top. So you might want to even pull that out of the mix on the last the last 4 counts right there. So when that and the guitar and the bass comes back in, there's a more dramatic difference in those switches right there. And then I would probably push the crashes in the now the kick and snare and the toms, like your shells on the drums are really prominent. They're sharp and they're snappy. They're doing what they're supposed to do. I would maybe push overheads a little bit higher, or like maybe push if you have control, depending on like the triggering and stuff like that. See if you can't push the overheads and the cymbals forward a little bit here, at least the crashes, because that transition where you go to the next section, that crash that kind of defines that next section is really soft. So that little pockets like that. All right, let's get a little bit deeper. Let's get a little deeper. But it's not much. This is not much. I mean, I think y'all are fantastic. I think this sounds amazing. Y'all are very, very, very talented musicians, writers, so on and so on. And no, this is our last one, Regina. This is our last one. Then we're going to be live again tomorrow. We'll open up the line again. I really like those low synths. That growly low bass synth is killer. Same thing there. The crash will help you transition stronger. Guitar tone is so warm. It's so energetic. There's such a wall of sound there. Great distinction, great separation. The guitars sound phenomenal. Those are really, really, really well done. I don't know if they're in there, if they're way in the background. On this section where we push the energy, this is just stylistic, so you can also feel free to ignore this, right? Everyone has a different way they want to approach their music. I would love a third note harmony over this vocal on this particular section. Leave it empty for the verses, a little bit drier, a little bit more raw. When you get into this section, when we get there, have the third note harmony over the top right there to stack it. Maybe have it on the left and the right. The vocal with all of the energy surrounding it just feels a little lonely in the middle of the mix. It's really fighting to maintain prominence because there's nothing really, really supporting it. Everything else is kind of building up energy around it. I would love the third note on there. Like just that right there. You could keep this open probably. Yeah, rest of those drums sound great.
Watch as you fall. The closer you come,
Love that low register.
like a moth to the fire.
Love the balance of the melodic vocal structure there with the almost more spoken, vocal structure underneath it. That tension is great. To be honest, wouldn't even mind if it was louder, so we felt a little bit more of it in there. But I love that low texture right there. That's beautiful.
Love by my light. You dance with promise of lust.
So this transition's a big one. So right there, it's the same thing, and I think it's all because of the cymbals, right? Because the tambourines, the cymbals, like the elements in the background, even the way that they go, back and forth, right? They're so quiet, they're so like suppressed in the mix. To be honest, almost sounds like this could be very well wrong, but it almost sounds like maybe there's soothe on there or something like that, like soothe on the drum bus, or there very well might not be, but it kind of sounds like there's soothe on there, and it's like just really suppressing the high ring of the cymbals. So we're not getting as much wash, we're not getting as much resonance. They feel really restrained and also just quiet, right? So when we hear this back and forth, it's so back in the mix, and we don't get any of that resonance. We don't get any of those like mids coming forward. It's so far back in the mix that the transition feels really soft. It doesn't feel like we're hitting this big moment going into what is the climax, like the climactic hook of the song at the end. So for me, a lot of this has to do with the overheads. A lot of this has to do with like the cymbals, how they're mixed, and how forward they are compared to the rest of the drums. I would absolutely give them just a little bit more steam, a little bit more energy in the mix, because this transition is a great transition. We start to open up the filter on the synth arpeggio in the background. It starts to kind of brighten up the mix a little bit, but then the transition falls flat just a hair because we don't have that energy kind of popping forward there. That little texture right there, to me, transitions and some of those other elements that we already talked about, to me, are one of the very few things that would change about what you're doing. But you're absolutely crushing it. Y'all are very, very, very talented. Caden's in the building. What's up, Caden? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing amazing. All of this sounds fantastic.
Like a moth through the fire. You dance for the promise of lust. Learn by my light. With my hypnotic glow, I ignite the passion and watch as you fall closer.
Fire. Appreciate you so much, man. It's good to see that name pop up. And then, yeah, last little 16-second tail at the end right there. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Y'all are absolutely crushing it. Please show some love to Her Own World. Show some love to Like a Moth. Amazing song. Great structure, great power, great musicianship. Overall, a really well-structured mix as well. I think y'all are doing fantastic. Man, show some Frost Project right here in the chat. Make sure y'all follow them. The song is out on platforms. Go like it, go stream it, go add it to your playlist. Show it some love and support. That's going to close us up for today. We will be live again tomorrow. We'll be live again tomorrow. So we will open up the lines again for those of you who were saved as well. Let's see. Tyrone, you were in the free line. You're in the free line. All the ones that we heard today were consultation side. We didn't even get a chance to get down into the free line. The free line, and just keep in mind, y'all, that the free line is up to 2 minute. Absolutely. I appreciate y'all so much for coming in. Free line is up to 2 minute play and a quick review. When you're submitting to the consultation side, those are the 30-minute breakdowns. So when we go through those breakdowns, they take a lot longer, but that is what that whole side of the stream is. So we always go from top to bottom. For who's here. We'll be live again longer tomorrow, so hopefully we can get to more songs. Hopefully we can get into a lot more music tomorrow. Today's short and sweet. I got way too much to do, way too many projects to get to. So I love y'all, appreciate y'all so much. Just keep in mind as well, Nemo and Punctured, y'all's will be saved and boosted. So just hop in tomorrow, submit in the free line, let me know that you're here, and I'll boost you manually so that you get where you need to be. But I love you, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for